Welcome to Capital Catch-Up, your in-depth look at the latest legislative developments in Congress. I am Victor.
And I am Lainey. Today, we are diving into a wide range of new bills, starting with a historic proposal to commemorate a major milestone. Senate Concurrent Resolution 35 and House Concurrent Resolution 16 both propose holding a rare joint session of Congress in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, on Thursday, July 2, 2026.
This joint session would honor the semi-quincentennial, which is the 250th anniversary, of the Declaration of Independence. The plan is to convene at Independence National Historical Park, right in the city where the nation was founded, highlighting Philadelphia's role as the home of the Continental Congress and the Constitutional Convention.
Congress has only met outside of Washington, D.C. twice since the capital moved there in 1800. A concurrent resolution like this is a legislative measure used by both chambers to coordinate on matters of mutual interest, serving as a significant moment of national reflection on our founding principles.
Moving from historical celebrations to critical resources, let us look at the Transboundary Aquifer Assessment Program, or TAAP Act. We have two versions of this legislation. Senate Bill 4846, introduced by Senators Kelly and Cornyn, seeks to reauthorize and expand this joint United States-Mexico water program through fiscal year 2036. It updates the priority aquifers to include specific regions in Arizona to improve water security and cross-border cooperation.
On the House side, we have House Bill 5709. This version also reauthorizes and updates the program, but has some distinct differences. It designates specific aquifers in Arizona as priority areas while explicitly excluding certain regions within the Yuma groundwater basin. It also authorizes $1.5 million in annual appropriations from fiscal years 2026 through 2033 and extends the program's sunset authority.
Water management is also at the center of Senate Bill 4812, known as the Fire Smart Act of 2026. This bill proposes amending Environmental Protection Agency regulations to integrate fire suppression capabilities directly into drinking water state revolving funds.
That is a crucial change for everyday Americans living in vulnerable areas. The bill mandates that the EPA prioritize water infrastructure projects that serve a dual purpose, providing safe drinking water and enhancing fire suppression capacity. It specifically targets high-risk fire communities and rural areas, particularly those that have proactively adopted wildfire protection plans.
Speaking of environmental resources, House Resolution 9299, the Advancing Next Generation Genetic Learning for Effective Resource Strategy Act, focuses on our fisheries. It proposes a grant program within the Department of the Interior to integrate environmental DNA, or eDNA, monitoring into sportfish surveys.
The bill authorizes $4 million annually from 2027 through 2033 to help state, tribal, and local governments, as well as universities and nonprofits. They will use genetic sampling to improve the accuracy of fish population counts, expand survey ranges, detect invasive species, and monitor endangered populations.
Now, let us shift gears to the digital world. House Resolution 9372 is the Data Infrastructure Energy Measurement and Standards Act. This legislation directs the National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST, to establish standardized best practices for measuring the energy and water consumption of data centers, specifically focusing on the heavy demands of artificial intelligence workloads.
This is a major issue as digital infrastructure expands. The bill aims to improve resource use reporting and national energy demand forecasting by collaborating with the Department of Energy, industry stakeholders, and international partners. It authorizes $10 million annually from 2027 through 2029 to fund this research.
For those interested in labor regulations, Senate Bill 4838, the Outdoor Recreational Outfitting and Guiding Act, was introduced by Senator Daines and referred to the Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions. It proposes amending the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938 to exempt employees who provide outdoor recreational outfitting and guiding services from federal minimum wage and maximum hour requirements. This is aimed at providing regulatory relief for businesses focused on equipment rentals and guiding services.
Let us talk about everyday finances and credit access. House Resolution 5402, the Credit Access and Inclusion Act of 2025, proposes amending the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It would allow utility, telecommunications, and rental housing providers to report positive consumer payment data to credit reporting agencies.
This could be a game changer for Americans with limited credit histories, helping them build credit scores through regular payments on essential services like electricity, gas, and rent. For protection, the bill prohibits reporting late payments if a consumer is in a utility-approved payment plan, and it offers an opt-out mechanism. It also mandates a Government Accountability Office study within 2 years to evaluate the impact on consumers.
Transparency is also the focus of House Resolution 9504, the Tax-Exempt Hospital Transparency Act. This bill proposes rigorous new reporting requirements for tax-exempt hospitals under the Internal Revenue Code. They would have to disclose detailed financial and operational data, including community health needs assessments, financial assistance policies, and audited financial statements.
Larger and high-revenue hospitals would face even more requirements, such as reporting specific spending on quality improvement, non-clinical programming, and participation in the 340B drug discount program. The Government Accountability Office would also study the administrative costs of these requirements and the potential tax impact if these organizations lost their tax-exempt status.
We also have several significant tax-related bills to cover. First, House Resolution 7972, the Taxpayer Workforce Modernization Act, aims to modernize the IRS by establishing a fellowship program to recruit private sector data scientists. They would partner with tax law specialists and form a task force focused on audit effectiveness, training current staff, and identifying complex tax evasion, especially offshore.
To further modernize enforcement, House Resolution 9501, the AI Tax Integrity Act of 2026, proposes an 18 to 24-month pilot program requiring the Treasury Department to use artificial intelligence to detect tax fraud. It targets identity theft, fraudulent claims, and improper third-party tax preparation, with a final report to Congress on its effectiveness and accuracy.
On the legal side, House Resolution 9498, the Taxpayer Advocate Participation Act, introduced by Representatives Stube and Del Bene, would formally authorize the National Taxpayer Advocate to appear as amicus curiae in federal tax litigation. This allows the advocate to present expert perspectives in court to protect taxpayer rights.
For individuals facing severe hardships, House Resolution 9500, the Tax Relief for Fraud Victims Act, proposes expanding tax relief for victims of theft, fraud, deceit, or misrepresentation. It repeals existing limitations on personal casualty loss deductions, allows victims to report losses in the year they occurred rather than when they were discovered, and allows penalty-free retirement account distributions. It also includes retroactive relief for homeowners dealing with concrete foundation deterioration caused by pyrrhotite.
Finally, House Resolution 9496, the End Tax Penalties on American Hostages Act, provides financial relief to U.S. nationals unlawfully or wrongfully detained abroad. It automatically postpones tax filing and payment deadlines for these individuals and their spouses during their captivity. It also establishes a program to abate interest and penalties and provides refunds for late fees paid since January 1, 2021.
As we wrap up today's episode, let us look at what listeners should watch out for. Keep an eye on the progress of the tax relief bills, especially how the House Committee on Ways and Means handles the amicus curiae authority and the relief for fraud victims.
We should also watch for updates on whether the House and Senate can reconcile the differences in the TAAP Act regarding aquifer priority areas in Arizona. And of course, we will follow the path of the resolutions for the historic 2026 joint session in Philadelphia.
Thank you for tuning in to Capital Catch-Up. We will see you next time.
Goodbye.